Number 4, this is my 4th mystery stamping event. I've been doing these on Mondays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know if you're not on the East Coast, it may be a different time where you're at. So I'm excited for those of you who can join in live with these. And for those of you who can't, I totally get it. A lot of you are at work right now. You can always watch along afterwards and create a project with us. So I just think this is a really fun thing. I've been doing it with my team members where I give you a list of supplies of what to bring, and then you join in and you have no idea what we're creating. And then we create something really fun. And afterwards, you have a nice project you can share with someone. So we will get to mystery stamping project number 4 in a minute. The first thing I want to do before that, though, is talk about Stampin' Up! Has a huge sale going on tomorrow. So I can't do this without talking about this big sale that we have going on. So for those of you who have joined in, if you will give me a little shout out, comment, give us a thumbs up. I want to make sure I can see my comments. I'm still getting used to all of the technology and how to do these. So I have plans for making them better in the future. But if you can give me a comment, and that way I can see what is happening. But so Stampin' Up's big sale tomorrow. Online extravaganza is happening Tuesday, November 24th. Happens all day long. It's just 24 hours, and it will end tomorrow evening at 11:50 Mountain Time. So you can adjust that time according to where you're at. That's a 2-hour time difference from the East Coast. I know sometimes people get confused, but we have 10% off of almost all of our products. Almost all of our products. I don't remember a sale where we had so many products included. So I'm really excited about it. There are some exclusions that I'll mention right now. I've got my notes here so I can tell you. So things that are not included. Adhesives are not included. The cut and emboss machine is not included. Our Paper Pumpkin prepaid subscriptions are not. Storage, the ink pads and marker storage is not. Specialty inks, specialty punches, the ones that allow you to punch several different things. Our white and vanilla cardstock, envelopes, and our Stampin' Write markers. That is the majority of the list of what's not included. There are a few other things like a stamp set here and a pack of cardstock there. If you are on my mailing list, I sent out an email a little bit ago that has that exclusions list of what is not included. I also posted in my Facebook group a little while ago, scrapping, stamping, and stuff. If you are not a member, you can request to join. But I posted that exclusions list so you can see if the things that you may want to order are included or not included. I'm really excited. I am not seeing the Stamparatus on that exclusions list, which means that it should be included in the sale tomorrow, which is awesome. I know those of you who have Stamparatus absolutely love it, and I know it's on a lot of wish lists out there. So tomorrow would be an awesome day to get it. So that's most of the information about the sale. I really encourage you to shop early. Once supply of certain items gets depleted, Stampin' Up! Will turn that off. If it goes on to back order and then they sell a certain amount after that, it will they turn ordering off to manage inventory. So the sooner you shop, the better chance you're going to be able to order those things you love. So you can stock up on cardstock and papers, embellishments, add some of those stamp sets, dies, and tools that you've had on your wish list. It's going to be a really good day to sign up for those things, stock up, and give yourself a merry little Christmas. So there are ways to combine offers and save. So you can, if you order over $150, you're going to get Hostess rewards on that. I have my own rewards program that you will get points towards that. If you've used my current host code, or you place an order over $150, you're going to get a free gift from me. So there's a lot of good things you can get. It's a really good time to order. Don't forget about your gift giving needs. People are at home right now looking for things to do, and they love activities that they can do at home that will make them feel good. So we have all-inclusive kits that are a really good gift giving option this year, and always, but especially this year. So think about those things as well. If you are interested, there's also the opportunity to sign up with Stampin' Up, and you can combine the starter kit offer and the demonstrator ordering discount with this sale. So I have mentioned some of that information in my email I sent out a little bit ago. If you have questions about that, let me know, because you can combine our starter kit offer with the online extravaganza sale prices. And once you're signed up, you can order with the demonstrator discount plus the 10% off for online extravaganza. And I get this question a lot. When you're ordering as a demonstrator, you still get hostess rewards on any orders that are over $150. So I just like to let people know those things so that you know all of the discounts you can get and you can combine. Okay, now we're going to flip the camera around. I hope you have brought some materials with you. And if not, you can either watch along and then go back and watch the recording and craft with us, or you can stop when I show the materials list and gather what you need and then watch the rest later on. So I'm going to spin my camera here. So you may want to look away for a second so you don't get dizzy. Okay, so here is our materials list for today for Mystery Stamping Project number 4. So we need a 5.5 by 8.5 card base, a piece of 4 by 5.25 cardstock. We need an assortment of rectangles of designer series paper. So they can be different sizes. My guideline was from about 1/2 inch wide to about 2 inches wide, and then about 3 or 4 inches long. Stamped greeting cut or punched out, a trimmer, and then some adhesives, including glue. You can have some embellishments if you like. And we are going to get started. So the first thing you need is your designer paper rectangles and your trimmer. The papers I'm going to be using are from the Snowflake Splendor Designer Paper Pack. And I bring in my trimmer here. And we need to take those rectangles and cut them in half diagonally. So the way I'm going to do that is I want to lay them on my trimmer so that the cutting track right there lines up with opposite corners. So when you get it lined up with opposite corners, you can lower the cutting arm and run that blade through, cut it in half. So now you're going to have 2 triangles. So we'll go through and do this a few times with all of these rectangles. My guideline was about 10, but really it depends on how big yours are, how many you're going to need. You're going to need enough to cover basically the front of a card. So if that helps at all, you can use that as a guideline. I do have a sample I made up when I was first creating this project that I'm going to show you later on that does not include holiday products, just an all occasion card. But I thought the Snowflake Splendor paper would just be perfect for this project. So for the one I'm going to do now, I thought I would use it. So just so you know, I am not seeing comments. I'm not sure if there are comments or if I'm just not seeing them. So again, one more of the kinks I will work out as I do this more. I love when, for those of you who are crafting along with us, I love when I get to see what you have created, your version of our mystery stamping card. So the easiest place to share those is in my Facebook group. So if you're not a member, I would love for you to join. Oh, I see a comment. Hi, Sue. Good. I'm glad to know that I can see comments now. Okay, as that appears to be all of my rectangles, so hopefully I have enough to cover my card front. So now you need the piece that measures 4 by 5 1/4, and we are going to start covering the front of this. And I'm debating whether to reveal the fun surprise now or to wait. You've possibly seen cards like this before. I won't be surprised if you've seen these. So we're going to go around. You can pick a point wherever you like on your card where you're going to start lining these up. It can be at the top, the bottom, right in the middle, it doesn't matter. But we are going to go around and start lining up these triangles all around until we have covered this entire piece. So I'll tell you this now. Last week's mystery stamping project involved small pieces of paper, and this one does too. I promise I'm not going to do the same thing to you next week. So next week's will not involve little tiny pieces of paper, but we're going to line these up and start attaching them with my adhesive of choice will be multi-purpose adhesive, or the glue. So you can decide when you're doing this if you want to leave a gap in between, like I'm showing right here, or you want to cover the entire thing like this and not leave that gap. So you can decide that. I'm going to choose my larger pieces, I think, and place them up here towards the top. And it's a good idea if you can, if you haven't started attaching yet, to lay everything out first. So go around the card and just lay these out where you think you want them until you find an arrangement you like. I'll use my bigger ones up here at the top since that's a longer distance, and then my shorter ones should fit down here at the bottom a little bit better. And if I'm lucky, I'll have enough to cover the card. Aren't these snowflake designs just going to be beautiful on here? So how it lines up in the center can be, that was my challenge on my first one that I made, was how to make that look right. And you can just play around with it. Depending on how you want to finish your card, you may end up covering that centerpiece anyway, so it may not really matter. But you may leave it uncovered, so if that's the case, you want it to look nice. So we'll get lined up. I may need a couple more, or maybe, I think I may just leave a larger gap and then maybe it will work out. I'll figure that out when the time comes. So once you have a general idea of where you want them to go, you can lift off one piece at a time. I marked with my thumb about where this is going to be the excess that hangs off. That way I have an idea of where to put my glue and where not to put my glue because I don't want it to hang over. And lay that on and move on to the next one. I don't know about you, but I think working with these little pieces of paper is relaxing. So I'm going to leave a little bit bigger gap and see if I can fill in the rest of mine that way, since I'm not sure if I have enough pieces cut yet. So we'll do this one at a time. This would be more fun if I could hear you. So if you have any comments or questions or anything fun to share, let me know. I would love to know what your big wish list items are for the sale tomorrow. If you're going to shop, or if you wish you were going to shop, what are the things you are going to order or would love to order? Another thing to keep in mind is that Christmas is coming. So if you would like to get what you really want this Christmas and get some crafting supplies under the Christmas tree, you can either talk to your loved ones about that and help them with ordering, or I would be glad to do that as well. If you send me your wish list and a name and either email address or phone number of somebody I can contact about seeing if they would like to get those items for you, I can take care of all that work for you. Thanksgiving's coming, as we know. I am always thankful for my blessings. This year I know has been a struggle for me at times, and I know a lot of you at times, but there is still so much to be thankful for. So I hope you have the opportunity to gather with some of your loved ones. I know that's a hot topic right now, whether that's happening or not. I can't wait to see what all of these look like. So this is called a starburst. If you haven't heard that before, starburst card, starburst design here on the front. And in case you're watching along and not crafting, I'm going to give the big reveal right now. I'm going to show you my finished sample from my first one. So I made this one with our plaid tidings designer paper, and I thought it turned out really neat. So I'm getting close. Is anybody out there getting close? I don't know if you've noticed, but the way I'm lining these up, I'm leaving a smaller gap down at the bottom and a larger gap at the edges. And that is going to allow this all to fit together a little bit better than when I was trying to line them up with those gaps even all around. That was not going to work out very well. And I realized that the solution was to let the gap grow as you get farther from the center. Okay, we're almost done. I may have to cut just one more rectangle in half. I think we'll do it for mine. And now that I look at this. I had two more that I forgot to cut. Now I just got a message from Francie about a blurry screen. I would be interested to know if you are the only one or not. I do not know. I have had, what I know is I've had a lot of technical difficulties as I've been starting these YouTube lives. So I would like to know if you are the only one or if others are seeing a blurry screen as well. So these little ones down here are going to be a little tedious to attach. If you started in the center, then yours will be a little bit easier because you won't have such tiny pieces to attach. But we can make it work. I think I'll just stick one more in there. And I'm going to let that dry for a minute so that I know none of those are going to move. But when I After it's dry, I'm going to pick it up and just use some scissors to trim off all of those edges. Isn't that a fun design? It's kind of unfortunate we're going to cut the excess off, but this would be really fun if you scrapbook. It could make for a really fun scrapbook page design in the background. But for a card, we're going to trim that extra off. While I wait for that for another minute, I am going to show you one of the things you were supposed to bring was a stamped greeting, either punched out or cut out somehow. And I'm so excited about the one that I'm going to use for this right here. And here it is. I was getting ready to stamp a greeting and I was going through my Christmas stamps and I saw this set and thought, oh my gosh, that would be the perfect greeting for this snowflake card. So this came from the Peace and Joy set. Here's the stamp set and all the stamps that come included. And then the Joy die set coordinates with it. This is one of our bundles. So you can get the set of them together for 10% off if you buy both. And the dies have the words. They have a real fine version of the words. They have a version that's about the size of this big stamp. And then there's an even bigger one. So I use the tiny die to cut out the word bright with the designer paper. I use that medium size one to cut it out with the balmy blue glimmer paper. And then the largest one I cut out with white. And I think this is just going to be absolutely beautiful. Okay, I think my paper should be held in place pretty well now. So I'm going to flip this over. If you want to use a trimmer, you can use a trimmer to cut these off. I am just going to use my snips. So you'll have some extra scraps here you can use for another project sometime if you like. My ones down there at the bottom are not quite dry. So I'm going to be extra careful down here. And I had some extra glue eke out on the back. Am I the only one? I did pretty well until I got down to the bottom and had those little tiny pieces. Okay, everything still looks okay up here, even if they've shifted a little bit. So I'll go ahead and trim them off. And there is our starburst. Isn't that neat? So now we just need our card base, and we are going to attach this onto the front. And I am going to try and decide, you may want to, if your design isn't centered, you may want to pay attention to how you attach this, because where you want that spot to be, you can either cover it up with your greeting like I did here, or maybe you want it to show. But I think I'm going to cover it up again, and I'm debating if I want it at the top, if I want it at the bottom. I think I'm going to put that at the bottom to make it look more like rays of light shining upward instead of downward. Then you can attach your greeting. I'm going to attach mine using dimensionals. So I haven't seen any other comments pop up. If you have a clear screen, if you'll let me know, and if you have a blurry screen, if you'll let me know that. That way I have an idea of if you're able to see this well or not. Okay, so there is my card. Now I said if you wanted to bring some embellishments, you could. I'm going to grab some gems that are going to coordinate with this really quickly. These are some of our blue adhesive back gems that are really pretty, and they coordinate with this balmy blue glimmer paper and the snowflake splendor paper. So I am going to add a few of these. I'm not exactly sure where. I think I'll just spread a few around down here close to that greeting. Okay, now I may have to add more. Do you ever start adding embellishments and then you get a little carried away and you're like, oh yeah, I need some more of those. We're going to do that this time. Okay, friends. So here is my mystery card, project number 4. I would love to see what yours looks like. So whether you are finishing up now or if you're going to come back later and do this, I would love to see pictures in my Facebook group later on. You are welcome to create your own post and share that picture if you like. Before we go, I want to show you a couple more things. I had 2 other cards here that I made with this same joy. What is it called? Peace and Joy bundle. So I thought I would share those really quick. This one was so quick and easy. It's just a piece of white cardstock on top and a couple of colors of ink, and I stamped all of that. And then this one, I used those dies, and I just love how it turned out. So this is a neat set. If you love it, you could add it to your wish list for the big sale tomorrow. Same thing with these designer papers. And I am going to share this. This will be our project list for next week. This will be on November 30th, right? Monday, November 30th, 1:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This one is going to be in my Facebook group. So I'm still working on deciding whether I'm going to do all of these mystery stampings in my Facebook group or my YouTube or go back and forth like I have been. But next week's will be in my Facebook group. And anytime you want to find my details for mystery stamping as far as the project lists, or whether you need to go to YouTube or Facebook that particular day, you can go to my website, scrappingstampingandstuff.com, click on events, I believe, at the top, events, I think, or get involved. And then one of the tabs that's going to pop down is mystery stamping. That is the best place to find all the information for my projects and what's coming up and when you can join in and what to bring. So thanks for joining in today. I hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed having you, and happy shopping tomorrow if you're going to be shopping the sale. And I hope to see you again next week.